are here, who I don't think anyone is, and friends who are not here yet. It's Saturday, weekends. I never know what to expect. Some people might want to show up and hang out. Some people might be out, you know, doing stuff. It's summertime. It's Saturday. Um, you certainly have other options. Some might say you certainly might have better options than hanging out with an old yogi who just wants to talk about weird stuff. Let's see. Hey, Lee. Lee says, "Hey, Yogi. Lee, are you excited about Monday, your Monday session?" Hey, Adam. Adam Bitcoin says, "So, everyone, nice to see you, Adam." I'm thinking about, we'll see. I never know who wants to, pop up and hang out a little bit, but sometimes I like having some slower nights and we can sit and read some stuff. Is there anything in particular you guys would like me to read, or do you want to come up and read something yourself? Um, is there a particular poem, maybe something I've read before, maybe uh, something that you find inspiring? He says, "I am Yogi, very much, but nervous, but I'll give it a go." Hey, if you have a good trainer, you start where you are. You know, there's no expectations. This is the shape you're in right now, whatever that might be. It's not the shape that you're going to be in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. I mentioned this analogy to a friend the other day. Horrible analogy for a vegan to use, but it is what it is, guys. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you get in shape? How do you get back in shape? One workout at a time. This is just one workout, Lee. It's just one workout. Hey, Rosie. Nice to see you. Adam says, how about something having the resolve to stay on the correct path? Let me think about that. Can I ask you a question, Adam? For you, what is the correct path? What would the You don't have to give like an actual term, but if you were to describe the perfect path for you that you would be walking, hey Hunter, how are you? What would it be? And then we can narrow that down and see what we can find. Of course, in Zen, they call it the pathless path. If it's a pathless path, then can you ever take an incorrect path? Um, let's start with Carlos Castaneda. This is a path with heart. This is how you know if you're on the right path. Adam says, to be the best version of myself that I can be. It's an interesting thought. I think about that quite often, actually, Adam. So let's let's go back to that original question. What would be the best version of you? What if right now what you're doing, saying, and being is the best version of you? And that in the next moment, there's going to be another best version of you, and another best version, and another best version. So instead of thinking that we arrive to some particular place that represents the single best version we can be, think of yourself as a verb instead of a noun. And as a verb, you're always in motion. You're always representing the best version you could possibly be in this moment. The good news is we are always in this moment. So you get infinite possibilities, infinite chances to be another best version of yourself. As long as you are forgiving the previous version for not meeting the representation that you hold in your head. Better yet, let that representation go. and simply be. The more you trust yourself, the more you're going to find intuitively you do the very best that you can in each and every moment. Lee says, "Hey, Hunter." Hello, Cat and Jack. Oh, hello, Cat. So this is Carlos Castaneda. This was actually his teacher, Don Juan. Don Juan was a Yakoi man of knowledge, a sorcerer. Some might call him a shaman. For me, there's only the traveling on paths that have heart. On any path that may have heart, and the only worthwhile challenge is to traverse its full length. And there I travel looking breathlessly. I did not see a frog. I heard a lot of frogs. Joshua, my friend, you are a truly generous friend, my friend. Joshua says, let us all strive to be the best version of ourselves. I appreciate that thought. I appreciate your, Joshua, I appreciate you showing up. You know that? You, and I don't mean just here, although I certainly do appreciate it and love the fact that you show up here. I just appreciate you showing up as a friend wherever I see you. You're always showing up for someone as a friend. The only thing that is more amazing and energetic than Joshua is Joshua's amazing and generous heart that he has. Joshua says, thanks for the compliment, Yogi. You're welcome. I mentioned to someone today, I really don't think of Joshua when I say something like that to you. I really don't think of it as a compliment, as me seeing this is how I view you. This is how I see you. And I just want to acknowledge that. I just want to acknowledge the high regard and the esteem and the amount of love that I have for you, my friend. And I really hope whenever you show up that I can convey that. And if ever there's a time that I don't or that I haven't, I deeply and sincerely apologize. And that's the same with anyone. If you guys have ever shown up and I've been distracted, I didn't see you, I apologize. So we are always presenting a version of ourselves, but is a version of ourselves who we actually are? That's the question to ask. Cat retracted a message. It was probably something really wise and very loving, and now I'll never know what it was. Cat says, Rosie, I love your frog. I haven't seen it yet. I need to go up and find it. I did not want to miss a good frog. I love Rosie's getting out in nature. That's a big frog. I'll be honest with you, frog might have scared me too. Rosie, what kind of prehistoric land do you live in? Nika Lee, my friend, how are you? Nice to see you. I appreciate you being here. Hey guys, go check out Rosie's frog, her short. It is a huge frog. Really, it's like the Jurassic Park style frog of all frogs. Hey, Lee, it's so nice to see you. Adam says, I thought it was a toad. It might be. Adam, how are you? Cat says hi, Nikki. Joshua says like done. Thank you, Joshua. Joshua, so how are you? What's going on with Joshua? When's the next live stream? What can we expect upcoming from Joshua? Any changes to the channel? Anything like you're going to do something different? Joshua says I'm going to Rosie's channel now. Nice. Kat says I thought it was a very good looking frog. This said I put gorgeous frog. Adam says great. I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, Adam, I don't know if you can find a separate copy of Manual for Teachers. Dundee says, say beautiful cat. Hey, Marlon. Anna says hi to Adam. Anna Joshua. Anna, how are you? Sniper is driving. Be careful driving, Sniper. Marlon says, hi, my hot, sexy Yogi Bear. You're such a stud, my love. It's got to be talking about some different Yogi. Hey, Muhammad. Why does electromagnetic waves have to nature? Waves and particle nature? I don't know. It's a good question. What do you think? Tell you what, I'll wait for your answer and I'll agree with you, whatever you put out there. Joshua says, I would do a live stream after dinner, Yogi. We'll also be doing 3 live streams every day. Wow, nice. I'd like to hear that, Joshua. Full support, my friend. Mohammed, how are you? Good evening, my friend Yogi, and all friends here. Good evening, Mohammed. I hope you're well. I hope your mom's well. Kat says, hello, fabulous Marlon, and hi to Anna. Hey, Kat, how was your day at work? Mohammed says, hello, Anna, happy Eid. It is Eid, right? He says, hope Big Al feels a bit better, Yogi. I hope so too. Mohammed says, are you a teacher? I'm a meditation and breathwork teacher. I'm a yoga teacher. I am not a definitely not a physicist. I have several books on quantum physics in the back, and when I read them, I find myself nodding my head like this makes perfect sense, and then afterwards, I retain virtually absolutely nothing. Kat says, tiring, I'm sore and worn out. I'm sorry, Kat. Can you take a bath, maybe? How about an Epsom salt bath? Muhammad says, so Kat, my friend, happy Eid. Muhammad says, hi. Joshua says, Yogi, I also do my Tuesday live streams again. Adventure, 3:30. I like that time. Hey, Joshua, that's one of my all-time favorite things that you do. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Nature Guy. Good evening, friends. Love, peace, prosperity to you all. You as well, my friend. Muhammad says, saw books behind. That's why I asked. Yeah, I'd love to read. I got a lot of books, as you can see over here, and over here. And there's actually double. There's books behind the books. But then a whole another room, and a whole another room, and a whole another room. Downstairs, and then downstairs again. Rosie says, hope you get better, Cat. Me too. Adam Bitcoin says, so Adam, Rosie is back. Ouch. Hey, Songahan, how are you? Rosie says, oops, I read that. I'll read it again. She hopes you get better, Cat. Cat says, it's all good. I just had to give up all my plans to mow and clean house. It's good practice for me. Well, Sunday and Monday, 2 more days of work for you. Joshua says, but don't worry. If when my live streams clash with yours after dinner, send your uh, I'll send you an alt account and here to support you anyway. I appreciate that, Joshua. I'm going to be honest with you. I never worry about clashing with anyone. And to be doubly honest with you, I would just as soon, if I saw you live with me, I would just as soon send people over to hang out with you. You are amazing and you are energetic. Um, and, I'm live. People can catch me some other time. It's always, it's all cool, as we would say back in the 80s. It's all cool, man. I might have thrown in a dude. And it says books. Yep, I love books. How do you read all those books faster? I'm not a fast reader, to be honest with you. I just love reading, so I'm always reading. Um, and I don't worry about how long it takes me to read a book. A lot of the books you see here are years and years and years old. Some are relatively new. I'm trying to think of the newest book I got was Supplements to A Course in Miracles, Psychotherapy and Song of Prayer. I loved your frog. We were talking about that. That's a huge frog. That's like a Jurassic Park frog. Anna says, I love books too. Hey, Anna, do you prefer fiction or nonfiction? I'll be honest with you, I'm torn between both. Adam says, seriously, Muhammad, it depends on what I'm reading as to what speed I can go. Hey, that's a good point too. If I'm reading fiction, if it's fiction that I resonate with, goes pretty quick. Kat says, Muhammad, blessings, beautiful mother. Absolutely. Joshua says, well, Yogi, I understand that phrase because I was born 8/6/1983. It's the year I graduated from high school, 1983. Sort of. Nature Guy says, I had so many books, I couldn't keep moving them all because they took up the entire U-Haul and trailer by themselves. So I converted a lot to ebooks. I have a fair amount of ebooks too. I no longer have, well, I do, it doesn't work very well. Um, Kindle, but I can read it online. I have a Kindle version on my desktop. I don't have one on my phone because it takes up a lot of space. Muhammad says, bro, I'm studying medicine. Hey, congratulations, Muhammad. That's important work that you're doing. Um, man, prayers for your studying. Says, see, I know that, Adam, but I want sharing with you guys. What do we got? Well, Adam has said, seriously, Muhammad, it depends on what I'm reading as to what speed I can go. I think I might have said Joshua. Joshua says, Yogi, thanks for that. You're welcome, Joshua. Here's what we got to do. As fellow YouTube travelers on the path of YouTube, if you have a channel, if you're trying to expand it, if you want to present your own artistic, spiritual, whatever, fun, entertaining, all of the above channel, the only true way to ever get ahead is by helping other people get ahead. Rosie says, I think I was planning on jumping out of me. I don't think so. If he was planning on jumping out of you, it was only because he was so glorified in his own frogginess and beauty that he just wanted to share in it with you. He wanted you to admire him. Look at me. I am one awesome looking frog or toad, as the case may be. Pretty sure it's a toad, but Adam says, I can't read the Tao Te Ching slow enough. Right about this time, last summer, we did 81 days in our morning live streams, 81 days of the Tao Te Ching, taken from Wayne Dyer's interpretation, not a, it's more of an interpretation. He didn't translate it, he interpreted it. And it says, read both fiction, philosophy, psychology, both fiction and nonfiction, philosophy and psychology. I love hearing that, Anna. Do you resonate with a particular philosophy? And is there a school of psychology that you resonate with the most? Nature Guy says, I have a Kindle and Amazon Fire. Yeah, I have an Amazon Fire, but it's old and slow. Do you read Indian culture related books? I read a ton of yoga books, my friend. Nature Guy says, I help every channel I come across. Nature Guy, you're an amazing person. I want to bring up your channel real quick. I'm going to do a check-in. Not to mention, artistically, your channel is just growing in leaps and bounds. Nature Guy's at 220 right now. I hope everyone here is subscribed. Hey, I don't see your long form content as much. I see you got a few new things I didn't see. The Whispering Pines. I get your shorts all the time, and I love your shorts. So that just goes to show me that I need to spend more time not waiting for your videos to pop up, but to actually go and explore. Hey, Dolly. Dolly says, much love, peace, and blessings. I love each and every one of you. I'm live right now, but I showed you out. Thank you, Dolly. Hey, guys, if you want to show up and say hi to Dolly in her live stream, I'll be here. I'm going to get my hour in. Adam says, Wayne Dyer is so cool. Yeah, he was such an important teacher for me. I feel like I traveled the path with him. Adam says, LIH. Rosie says, I name it Yogi since you love frogs. I do love frogs. You can name it Yogi. I would be honored. The frog would be like, what's a yogi? Yeah, so Adam, there were times when I felt like I outgrew Wayne Dyer. Spiritual egotism at its finest. That I was diving into the deeper aspects of non-duality, that I was having these amazing experiences, that, I was just deeper, that he was on this level here, and that because I was progressing this path of yoga, poor Wayne Dyer, still caught up in that self-help movement. But what I found is every time I thought that, I was brought back down to earth by the humbleness and the simplicity of Wayne Dyer's message. Through the years, the simplicity kept deepening, if that makes sense. It just kept getting back to being kind. My first interest in A Course in Miracles came from reading Wayne Dyer. Man, how do you ever graduate that? You don't graduate. There's no such thing as graduating on this path. There's no higher path. There's no lower path. There is just love and fear. And one of those is an illusion. I'll let you guess which one. Hey, Jace. Hey, Dan. Man, you two put in huge sessions today. Nature Guy is saying hi to everyone. Wishing them prosperity. Thank you, Nature Guy. What's up, Skits? I blanked out for a second, but only for a second. Jay says, Joshua better. Buddy. Muhammad says, some of my friends skits. Happy Eid. Nature Guy says, having a hard time getting started with my diary. I can understand that. Where can you trace that to? Are you worried about what to say? You can't think of what to say? Um, because that's easy to fix. Look out the window, pick one thing, and write about it. Examine your mind, pick one thought, and write about that thought. Anna says hi to Phoenix and hi to Skits. Hey, Anna, did I miss your comment? Muhammad says up above, which subject you guys more good in overall science? Like, I absolutely love physics, quantum physics. I don't understand quantum physics. Cat, man, she drew a line in the sand here. Rosie, I think you should name the frog Cat because I love frogs more than Yogi. What could possibly make you think that you love frogs more than me? That's what I want to know. We can decide this. The first one of us to get a frog tattoo loves frogs more. Kat said to Muhammad, I love you studying medicine. How wonderful. There's a specific practice you're interested in. I'm going up above what I might have missed. Adam, Bitcoin says used to read a ton of books, but nowadays, if not a video, I don't bother with it. The thing is that books stimulate a part of the mind that a video never can, never will. So you really want to mix things up. Yeah, I met Wayne Dyer. I loved Camus, by the way, Anna. And Emerson and Thoreau. You and I talked about Thoreau before. And Simone de Beauvoir. How close did I get to pronouncing that right? I have about a year ago, somewhere on one of these shelves. I revisited Myth of Sisyphus. I love the interpretation of the Myth of Sisyphus that not only um, did Sisyphus find meaning in rolling that boulder up the hill and only have it come back down again and then rolling it up again, he found joy. He found deep joy. How do you two feel after those big workouts, Jason Dan? Wayne says it all in his 7 Rules for Success. Yeah, I have that book somewhere back there. What I absolutely love about him is in the 70s, your erroneous zones and pulling your own strings. And he was very self help, very into motivation. They nickname him the father of motivation. And he was almost smug looking on his book covers, sort of a big cheesy smile and sticking his chest out. And his books began to soften. First off, I think it was with You'll See It When You Believe It. Um, and then it was Real Magic, and then Your Sacred Self. And he went from quoting Abraham Maslow, who I love, by the way, um, to quoting Nisargadatta Maharaj and Ramana Maharshi and A Course in Miracles. Um, and his photo covers went from that smug, big cheesy grin to humbleness. In his book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, he is on his knees, head bowed at the Temple of Assisi in Italy, deep in prayer. And his book, Inspiration, he is smiling at a butterfly that alighted on his finger. Yeah, him and Deepak, both big influences. Dan says, wore out. Jason says, more loco. Yeah, that huge sessions. Skit says, frog video, Rosie? No way. It's a big frog. Hey, Maddie. Maddie, how are you? Um, Cat says, Maddie, you've been running in the room for Jack all day. I was talking about Maddie earlier and the place that he provides for me, because he'll have the aquarium up all through the day. It's a little sanctuary. And it says, books help me a lot to live, Yogi. Me too. It was a connection I had with my parents as well as my siblings. Hey, vlog. Vlog, nice to see you. Sorry I missed you when you came in. Maddie, I'm sorry I missed you right when you came in. The chat was jumping a bit. The only plushie I had were frogs. All right. That's a pretty good argument for loving frogs more than me. I've never had that I can recall a frog. Of course, when I was a kid, we didn't have stuffed animals. We had sticks and rocks. We played with sticks and rocks and we gave them names. Kids these days. One boy says, "Say my stream is going crazy right now." What do you got? What do you got going on? How many you got showing up, Runner Boy? You're still playing for me, by the way. I got your big back workout just finished. Actually, I just finished your playlist, your live stream playlist. Bro, you got 41 people watching right now on leg day. Awesome. That'll get you there, Runner Boy. Exactly what you need. Didn't you guys say sorry that repeated so much? It wasn't intentional. It's okay. Didn't you guys says, yeah, I had trouble figuring out what to say to start with. All you need is love, Moulin Rouge version, of course. Have I ever told you how much I love Moulin Rouge? To me, that was I mentioned before, magical movies that come just at the right time when you need to believe a little bit in magic. That was one of them. So the start is always the hardest, nature guy. So start simply. Open a book, any book that you have handy, and randomly pick a sentence, even a single word, and write something about that word. Just without any censorship, just write. Write to a friend. Write to yourself when you were 12 years old. Write a letter to your 12-year-old self. Write a letter to your future self. It says, Froggy, I think we all ought to get out and get some frog tattoos together, guys. Starting with be open to everything and cling to nothing. Thank you, Jace. Let me bring that up on the big screen. A, B, C, D, E, F, P. You know it all about being mushy. I knew nothing about being mushy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Jace. Oh, that's perfect. Rosie says, I named it Yogi Cat so they don't fight on Frog Name. Skits I posted a frog video, it scared me. I missed that. That's awesome. Cat says, so thank you, Maddie. I love that kind of calm energy pouring into my home. Exactly. This is why I love what Maddie's doing. I love the fact I can go there any time of the day and find it and just sit. Maddie, I can't say it enough. I absolutely love what you're doing. Jace says he feels good. No, 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 no. Because he knew that he would. I'm glad you're feeling good. Man, Maddie, I hope you don't do that. Maddie says, I was going to stop streaming my aquarium cat. Maddie, I truly, truly believe you're an artist. Not only are you an artist, I think you're doing something extremely important. I, I can't stress enough how important I think it is what you're doing. Hey, Color My World. How are you, my friend? Skits, he's not making Rosie feel any more secure. You had a lucky escape there, Rosie. Frog almost got you. Hey, think of it this way, Rosie. Would a frog named Yogi Cat ever hurt you? What's up, Tim? Tim, how are you? Maddie says he's good. And I'm all out of order in the chat, guys. I apologize. Skid says frogs aren't scary. Cows, on the other hand. What do you think of that, Cat? Are cows scary? Was a Facebook meme that I always like. The chances of being killed by a cow are never zero. How's that for a sobering thought? The chances of being killed by a cow are never zero. Rosie says, my new frog friend is named Yogi Cat. That's a perfect name. Yes, Adam, we walked uphill both ways. Hey, Rosie, I'm really glad that you're out exploring nature. Anna says, what is Xena doing, Jace? Maddie says, I'm going to do a live olive challenge. Are you really? If you're going to do a live olive channel, I might order. I will have my first olive since the infamous race. Cat says, stop. I don't know if I can pronounce it that way. One of my faves. It's one of my. I can't begin to tell you. It's a beautiful movie, and I actually have the original version of it as well. But I love the Nicole Kidman. Rosie says, "Laughing Yogi Cat is a great name for it." I kind of wish my name was Yogi Cat. Like, the cool Hepcat 1950s beat generation. Hey, Shirley. I used to sit on Grandpa's cows while they were in the field. I love cows. It was a photo of a cow that turned me vegan. I have a great, great debt to cows. I have a karmic debt to cows. Um, I'll tell you why some other time. I did allude to the fact that as a teenager, I worked in a veal farm. Skid says, you clearly have never been surrounded by a gang of cows chased out of the field. Was it a cow or was it the bull? Tim says, Cat, how did I miss you? Because Cat is so demure, as Toy Pups loves to say. Hey, takeaway boys. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you back. I really appreciate that. Cat says he might surprise us, Skits. Hey, Daniel. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. It says, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, my friend. Pancake, how are you? I think we should all get wild. How wild do you want to get, Pancake? Let's see. I know I missed some stuff. Timbro, it's a 24/7 mushy pea party. It is not. It is not. Jason, surely have a lovely idea. I'm going to email you in the morning. Shirley says, yeah, Jace, I've been spending time with Bushka. It's a good place to be because you don't give us enough Xena time. Dan says, Yogi, do you the burpees? I promise I'll stop sending meat for him. How does 100 reps? I'm already regretting this. Is is 7:30 too early for you? I think we have an hour difference. Um, I can do 100 reps at about 8:30. Man, I keep thinking I'm retired from the burpee world, and you keep getting dragged back in. But when you have, man, when you have true legends asking you to do some reps with them, it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no. Tim says, Skits, my brother from another mother. Thank you, Pancake. We got 100 joules from Pancake. Much appreciated. Kat says, laughing. Where is just Sue to make a video of Yogi running from cows? I would never run from cows. Cows are my spiritual family. Skits says, Kat, can you imagine? That's where it started. Can you imagine Yogi live stuck in a field surrounded by an aggressive gang of cows playing Holy Cow when he gets ran after? I love saying Holy Cow. It's my favorite expression. It's my sincerest. If you ever hear me say Holy Cow on a video, it's my sincerest compliment that I can offer. Cows are indeed holy. I would never run from a cow, ever. I have run from bulls before. I ran from a deer before. It wasn't that long ago. I'm going to share this with you. Only one person in this live stream actually knows this. Very recently, I ran from a goose and I strained a butt muscle. True story. True story. Adam says, yes, I like fish tanks. I like fish tanks, and I specifically like Matty and what he does. Takeaway Boys connected back with Jace. Hey, you're going, Takeaway Boys, you're going live with Martine tomorrow, right? Do you guys got a link for that yet? If you have a link, always feel free to drop it. Let us know what's going on with you. I'm glad you're doing good. Dolly says, Yogi, Cat, and friends, much love, everyone. Much love to you, Dolly. I will be making onion cheese stuffed hamburgers. Sounds good even for a vegan. Wrapped in bacon in the air fryer. Live later tonight. Time to be determined. I'd love to hear the determination. Manny sends some love to Phoenix. Chris and Lucy were at Bush Katu for a while. Nice. Haven't seen Lucy for a while. Kat was hanging out with us earlier today. Or I'm sorry, Chris was hanging out with us earlier. So the only video, check it out. How are you? Big thanks to Jace again for helping me pronounce that correctly. Takeaway Boys, yeah, tomorrow. No links for tomorrow yet. Hey, takeaway. I'll be live in the morning, early morning and afternoon. 5 o'clock my time, so it'd be 10 o'clock your time. Feel free to pop in and drop a link if you want. Skit says, tell you what, I'll make a deal, Eric. Bro, I will protect you from geese if you'll protect me from cows. Deal. You got it. You got it. Although, I got the easier job, Skits. Have you ever been near a flock of geese when they've just had babies, goslings? They are aggressive and they hiss. No bird should ever hiss. You know what? Snakes can hiss. I'll even accept a hissing lizard. But no goose, no bird should ever hiss. Now, I might feel differently about cows if they hissed. If you had a hissing cow, it would be a little scary. Shirley says, did I miss an announcement? I don't think so, Shirley. Adam says, it's hard to say no to doing some burpees. I have found it increasingly easier and easier. I'm semi-retired from burpees. I still do them every day, but mainly for a warm-up or like a recovery session.
Hi there.
Hey, Marlon, what's going on?
Well, one thing. I was looking at new cars, some better parts, but I just came up because being alone right now wouldn't be a good idea.
Understood. Hey, well, pull up a chair, hang out.
Yeah, and I'm also just making food, so sorry about that. But
that's all right. We're going to be reading the chat, so just go ahead and if you hear an interesting comment, like Skits being afraid of cows, feel free to
Yeah. Well,
hey,
I just had a talk with my ex fiance. He is, I don't know. Long story, she somehow still expected me that she asked if she could stay at my place for a year or something like that I would be happy and yes, please. And I couldn't say no to her, but I also I don't know how it would be and try to be as nice as possible while still being honest. And to her, that's horrible. And she decided now that the only option left. She told me she had two other options. Apparently, that means killing herself, not going somewhere else.
Difficult position to be in, my friend.
Yeah, and I
don't. Hey, Marlon, don't take it upon yourself.
I know I shouldn't, but that's probably not going to stop me from doing it. We're gonna do some degree. I mean, I'm not nearly as much as I am in the past.
We're gonna do some breath work in a little bit, and when we do some breath work, what I want you to focus on: surrendering, letting go. Don't carry that. You can be there for someone. That doesn't mean you have to carry their weight. And as a matter of fact, you more effectively can be there for someone if you don't carry that heaviness in your heart. You're such a caring person that you take so much upon yourself. You don't have to, though. Hey, William. Hey, Stitch. Sorry if I missed anyone coming in. Takeaway Boys says, let's see, we got a link dropped. Let's see what it is. Thanks for dropping your link, Takeaway.
If I'm being honest, if it was just for me, I wouldn't have any contact with her anymore.
Right.
I don't have it in my heart to, especially if someone is going through some stuff. Ignore that.
Jay says, what you cooking?
I'm gonna have some tofu Then I'm frying up with a little bit of veggies. I'm gonna add some 3 eggs and some whole, well, not wheat, but some grain related to wheat. I don't remember the English name. Pasta.
Good night, Shirley.
So not vegan, at least, but it is vegetarian. Okay, it is. I use a little bit of fish sauce.
Right.
But yeah.
Just want to see if I missed anyone. Stitch says, there she was up all night, only had 2 power naps when you put me to sleep. And that's when you put me to sleep.
I always fell asleep on the mountain bike today. I had slept before 2 or 3 hours, but yeah, after that I wasn't able to sleep. But then I came onto the live stream and it took me a few things to be able to sleep. Like me being able to fall asleep to something doesn't mean it's boring. It means it puts me at ease.
Right. I understand. Skid says, Marlon, I just want to say you're such a legend, brother. Don't forget it. Mushy, mushy, mushy peas.
Mushy peas, mushy, mushy, mushy peas, mushy peas. Unfortunately, I don't have any peas in the house.
Did he say
Okay,
fortunately?
the Bible chat. I'm not a huge pea fan. I don't mind them. I don't love them. I'm somewhere in between.
Adam says, does the course talk about looking at someone else's illness as illusory and confusion? Yes. But it doesn't say that the best summary of this I've gotten was not so much from the course, but from presented by Kenneth Wapnick. We deal with issues on the level of the issue, but we don't give it the weight of our belief. So you see sickness as an illusion. My sickness, your sickness, our sickness. But we use whatever the course would call it magic. We use being medicine. Whatever magic works. We deal with the level of the belief that we find ourselves within. So when we obviously believe in the solidness of the world, even if in our heart we know that it's illusory. So it doesn't help us in any way to ignore someone's sickness. And I've seen people who've had non-duality experiences and they show up on a hospital bed and they will tell someone, you're not a body, that this is illusory. You're not really sick. When someone is suffering the effects of cancer, they don't want a non-duality pep talk. They want to feel better. They might want assurance. And I think as we travel the path of the course, yoga or Buddhism, we become more skillful in navigating the world of form while remaining in our heart the formlessness of which we truly are. Does that make sense, Adam? Muhammad says, I have the lyrics of a song, Smile, My Friend, Skatosis. It is really great. Man, that is an awesome song. I'm biased, by the way. My favorite is the Yogi song.
He's just a yogi in his song doing burpees.
Jason sending you peas. Positive energy always succeeds. Phoenix says, my illness of my illness of my carpet tunnel, my illness of my lupus, my kidney issues, or my trauma from childhood, or my bulging disc in my back. Which one is it? It's considered not real. Well, see, that's a
good point.
It's a thorny issue, Dolly. To say that something is not real doesn't take anything away from it. It doesn't dismiss the pain, the suffering, the grief that we experience. So if you've had any glimpse of a deathless state, if you believe death isn't real, doesn't mean that you don't grieve when you lose someone, right? if we believe that our loved ones go to heaven, if we believe that our loved ones reincarnate, whatever, it doesn't mean that we don't suffer their loss. Trust me on that. So we can view everything of the body. If you examine the body under a very powerful atomic microscope, we see that there's no such thing as an arm. There's a collection of cells that eventually become arm-like in appearance. And every single cell is made up of molecules, and every molecule is made of atoms, and every atom is made of particles, and then subatomic particles, and then absolute nothingness except for the potentiality to somehow hold all of that together. So we can see ultimately an arm is nothingness. Can nothingness ever suffer? No. But in the appearance of an arm can suffer all kinds of trauma. So we see the illusory nature of the universe itself, including bodies, including ourselves, but we deal with things on the level of form. When you have a bulging disc, you get that bulging disc treated in any way that alleviates the pain. Part of that might be a spiritual path that allows you to see that even though we suffer, suffering itself is illusory. And as Buddha said, there's a way out. And that's what we look for. I hope that makes sense, because I never want to dismiss anyone's suffering, even a little bit. Adam says, very much, Yogi. Thanks. You're welcome, Adam. P.S. Yogi, I have a hard time at funerals because believe the beat goes on. Understood. But yeah, I've literally heard stories of people, on someone's side at the hospital, giving the non-dual spiel of, everything's an illusion. It's not helpful. In fact, it could be harmful. Takeaway says 23.25 in the UK, so bedtime. Have a great night and day, folks. Takeaway, I will be seeing you and Martine tomorrow. Oops, forgot to take my supplement. We're going to do some breath work in just a little bit. 1 or 2 minutes. Reese is getting ready to go to bed. Sniper just made it here. Hey, Sniper. Takeaway says, no problem, Yogi. See you then. Thank you, my friend. Casey said, I love the squirrel. My cat saying hi to you guys. Phoenix says, thank you, namaste. I love you. I love you too, my friend.
Hey, cat and black cat and other black cat.
Yeah, this is, I guess because it's here, it's the black cat, and the other black cat is downstairs. But if I was downstairs, that would be the black cat, and the other black cat would be this cat, which I'm calling the other cat.
I thought the other black cat was always the other black cat. Okay.
Adam says, yes, sure, it didn't seem to come across as insensitive. Muhammad says, my mom doing well. Thank you so much, Brother Skits. And how knows someday we do it. A song, you, me, in English and Arabic. That would be awesome. Adam says, I've spoken to several people.
Maybe you're doing song.
You got to make it up. Adam says, I've spoken to several people close to death, and I mostly spend time.
That's all we make on my 3 languages.
Right. Mostly spend time trying to convince them that God doesn't hate them, which is important. They've done quite a few studies.
In seinem Song, der deutlich smart. It doesn't rhyme quite the same.
Nope.
It's not that Not sure what song would be in Portuguese, to be honest.
They've done
no. Yeah.
giving mushrooms to people on their deathbed.
Som Yom Singo, no birthdays, no from daily.
Yoga is very helpful, Dolly. Dolly is a ninja on muscle relaxers. Adam says, I'm glad I'm no longer a rat on Acid Phoenix. We've had our times. All right. Kat, are you ready for some breath work? We are going to do, for me, it's the perfect breath. Perfect breath for bedtime. It is, hi Daisy. So awesome to see you, my friend. Breathing in for 4, using the Ujjayi breath. Exhaling for 8. We use that Ujjayi breath, that ha sound, in order to help us lengthen the breath. And it also stimulates the vagal nerve, which helps us relax. William, I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest with you. So this is how we do it. We breathe in with that ha sound. It goes like this. It sounds like this. You can hear it. We breathe in. We breathe in for 4. We exhale for 8, all through the nose. If you would like to supercharge this, it's the same breath, but use your thumb and block as you exhale your right side and breathe out exclusively through the left. The left side corresponds to the parasympathetic energetic state, which is our rest and digest. So it's very, very relaxing. Let me demonstrate that.
And what is your right or left for that?
Right. I'm going to breathe in for a count of 4. Only if you feel you want to, but it does heighten the relaxation if you breathe directly through the left. So let me know when you guys are ready. Hey, Sue. Warm says hi, Jace. Phoenix says, Daisy May, beautiful soul. So happy to see you, lovely. Give me a thumbs up when you guys are set. All right, we got a thumbs up from Jace. Are you ready, Marlon?
Yeah.
So, for those who are participating, if you close your eyes, we'll be back in the chat in just a moment. Bring a gentle, gentle focus on breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Whatever rhythm feels natural right now. Breathing in, breathing out. Extend that awareness down to your belly. And as you breathe in, notice the belly rise and the belly fall. It's like the tide. Extending, relaxing, extending, descending. Breathing in and the belly rises, breathing out and the belly falls. And just like the ocean, we're going to introduce that sound of the ocean's tide, that very gentle ha sound as we breathe in, the very gentle light constriction to the throat. Breathing in, listen to the sound of the ocean. Exhale, listen to the sound of the ocean. You are in tune to the infinite tides of the universe itself, deeply relaxed, preparing the body to lay down, to go to sleep shortly. Everything is starting to shut down. Every out breath, your body's getting heavier, more relaxed. We're going to breathe in, starting now for a count of 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in that ha sound for 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Surrender the breath, letting everything go. Take a moment to tune into that heart space, not a chakra, but the entirety of the heart, one space that connects us all. And in that space, let enter one little tiny thought, one intent of forgiveness for any weight that you're carrying right now, for any emotional weight, for any sense of self-disappointment. Allow every out breath to surrender and surrender. Forgive your body for the hard work that is done today, carrying no stress into bed with you. That you deserve a moment of rest and recovery, and that you've used your breath as an essential tool to bring you to this point of ultimate forgiveness. And as you get ready for bed, you are free, you are at ease, and you are at peace, and you are loved, and I love you. And I'll see you in the chat when you open your eyes. Is my friend Mr. Poopinator still here? Poopinator says, that's Mr. Poopinator, by the way.
I'm sorry.
He has earned the title.
It's actually his name.
He says, fart for me, bro. I can't sleep. Mr. Poopinator, I would. I really would. I'm going to be honest with you. There's someone in the chat that I really want to impress. I want them to think highly of me. And I think it would undo all of my hard work if I farted for you. Plus, our friend Marlon is eating right now, and it would be really impolite for me to.
I would not care the slightest.
He's polite, but he would really care. So I would, Mr. Poopinator, I would do it for you because you've been asking for over.
I would laugh, and if I had some chocolate creamer, as a joke, I would put that in my mouth now.
You're welcome, Skips.
Like only with heavy emotional stuff you can wreck my appetite, not with
Adam says, "How about a good raspberry yogi?"
raps.
Even that, like I said, I don't want to go into details. Let me just say, I'm trying to impress someone in the chat. I want them to think highly of me. So, no undue, unnecessary, unseemly noises. You're welcome, Skips. William says, Sherpa Eric, we just released all our excess air doing breath work. Exactly. Thank you. I would, William, that's the perfect out. I wish I had thought of that. Mr. Pupinator, I would, but I have no more air left. We've released it all. Phoenix says, Big Al, I've been missing you guys, your adjustment to move. How are you? Any new accents? Anna, you're welcome, my friend. Hey, hey, Marlon.
Yeah. Does Big Al wants to come out?
I was going to see if he wanted to come up. I got about 14 more minutes, a little less. So I thought if Big Al wanted to come up and say hi.
Yeah. Wait, one. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye. See you all soon.
Big Al says, hi, Phoenix. Move went well. Thanks. New accent. No new accents at the time. Hey, Big Al, you got a few moments you could share with us? Like I said, I got about probably about 10 minutes. Dolly says soulmates. Right. Not mentioning any names. Don't want to put anyone on the spot. But let's just say, it's no coincidence that Jace doesn't wear a shirt when he works out. It's no coincidence that Big Al is coming up to say hi to me.
Good evening.
What do you want me to sing, Jace? You want to sing a song with me, Big Al?
I'll sing a song with you.
What do you think of? I sang it earlier today. Do you like ABBA?
ABBA's okay. I haven't heard any ABBA songs in a long time, so
Mamma
we'll
Mia?
see how well it goes.
Now, you have an uncanny ability to harmonize. I don't know how you do it. I couldn't
I don't
harmonize.
know how to.
I couldn't do it if I tried, and I've tried. Let's see. Jace says, "Good night, sweetheart. Good night." I don't know if I know all the words of that. I should. It's such a simple song. Let's see if I can bring the lyrics up, Jace. That is a good night song, and it's a simple song. Big Al and I don't have to.
I don't know the words to that. I will admit I don't know the words to many of the songs. I'm thinking of the songs that I do know, and I seem to only really know the choruses.
I think you'll recognize this. If I can find the. It's by the Spaniels, I believe, in the 1950s.
A little bit before I was born, then.
A little bit before I was born. So, good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
Let's go for it, and we'll see if I can join in.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm trying to think of how it goes. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night. We're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
One
I
chorus.
don't know the words. I apologize.
That's okay. Put me on the spot. I thought we were gonna do it together. That's okay. Big Al.
I
Let's
didn't.
let's
To
just
be
say
fair, I didn't realize you had started. I thought you were just trying to see if you knew how it went, and I
let's
was going to
just
join in when I knew, but I didn't know the words at all.
let's just say that payback will come when you least expect it, my friend.
Is it anyone's birthday? I'll sing happy birthday with you.
Adam says, Adam Bitcoin, Dancing Queen. I've never done Dancing Queen. My fallback song is Mamma Mia. William says, oh dang, Eric, that resonated on a core level. Powerful. Well, thank you, boy. I don't know if I've ever had a reaction. My normal reaction when I sing is a request to please never do so again.
The funny thing is,
Thank you.
you said Mamma Mia, and for some reason, I sang it in my head, but I realized I was singing Bohemian Rhapsody.
That would have been, if we had started that together, that would not have gone. It could have been a mashup. Hey, it's okay. You're off the hook, by the way, Big Al. You know why?
Why is that?
Adam Bitcoin sang it with me, so he saved you for leaving me on the spot.
That's fair enough.
William says, like Miracle Workers by Forrest Frank. I don't know that, William. And I tried to belt the female vocal. Right, hey, Big Al, let's hear a verse. Let's hear a verse of Mamma Mia. Or
The ABBA one or the Bohemian Rhapsody?
do you want to do? I could never even attempt to do a Freddie Mercury. I told that to Jace. But if you have the confidence to do Bohemian Rhapsody, you do a verse of Bohemian Rhapsody, or as much as you want, and I'll do a verse of Mamma Mia.
I don't have the confidence to do anything really. I just for some reason that was where my mind went when you said Mamma Mia. I sort of sat here and went Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, let me go, and then I realised that was Bohemian Rhapsody and not ABBA.
It's a good song though. We could do a mashup. You do a verse of Bohemian Rhapsody. I do a verse of Mamma Mia.
I'm really nervous now.
You've sung it. You've harmonized "Happy Birthday" with me, and you just hear me. You just heard me sing "Good Night, Sweetheart" for Jace. That should give you all the confidence in the world because you know you're going to sound better. I've heard you sing. You got a lovely voice.
Well, I appreciate the the compliments. I'm just really nervous. I'm not great with I don't know. I feel put on the spot. Really, it's I didn't expect to be invited into the stream and then have to do some kind of yogi concert.
All right, I will take the spotlight off of you, and if you feel the urge to sing, go ahead. But in the meantime, you and I will just catch up.
Besides, I don't know why you're trying to make me sing when I'm already doing a challenge. Like soon, when I'm going to be eating mushy peas on a pizza.
Is that a challenge for you? Because you can eat mushy peas on pretty much anything, right?
Pretty much, but I've never tried mushy peas on pizza.
Except for, what did we discover? Except for eggs. Eggs are a no.
Eggs, I would not eat mushy peas
But-
with, and I think porridge was the other one, wasn't it? I
Yes.
wouldn't eat mushy peas in porridge. That's just no.
But I think that has more to do with you don't like eggs, right?
No, I do like eggs.
So now why wouldn't you have eggs and mushy peas? That doesn't sound, I don't like mushy peas, but
No,
it
it's
doesn't
because
sound
you said it was because you said mushy pea omelette,
right.
and
How about
for me with the omelette, it's more of the texture. I'm not a big omelette fan
How
as a
about-
whole, so it doesn't matter whether it's like just because it's mushy peas or not. I genuinely not very keen on omelette.
right. Now, do you like scrambled eggs?
I do.
How about scrambled eggs with mushy peas?
Never tried it, but I'd be willing to give that a go.
There you go. So now eggs are back in the mix. It just depends on how the eggs are served. Dundee
Yeah,
says we are.
in an omelette, there's just something about like as an omelette, it's really I don't know. Whereas with like scrambled egg, you can make it more solid because, like I said, with the omelette, it's more of the texture. It's really weird. I'm not a big fan of pancakes because the texture is similar to an omelette. It's something about that weird texture for me.
Did you just hear that sound? If you listen
No.
close, when you replay this video, and right at this moment, you're gonna hear a sound. It's the sound of my heart breaking when I heard you say, "I don't like pancakes." Um, almost as if you reached in to my chest and grabbed my heart and just said, "You won't be needing this anymore," and shredded it up. I think
I apologize.
that's okay. I probably deserved it. I did put you on the spot to get you to sing. So I would say, there you go, Eric. He just hasn't had a good pancake yet. Jace says, "Ain't no pea like a pizza pea." Hey, Jace. Hey, you know what? We could have synchronized pizza pea party. Big Al, Jace.
Yep.
Everyone that day that you decide upon. William, if you want to do a mushy pea pizza, hey Adam, Cat and Jack. Nope, never mind. Let me take that back. I don't want to see Cat and Jack eat mushy pea pizza.
I do.
I want Cat to be forever untainted by mushy peas. In my mind, I know she's had them. I know she likes peas, but in my mind, I want her to be forever untainted.
Now we really need to upset the yogi by making Cat eat. Well, not making Cat eat mushy peas, but asking Cat to eat mushy peas with a pizza.
This night is just getting worse and worse for me. And now Skits calls me out. That's who we feel every time you disregard mushy peas, Eric, bro. Skits, you know what? Skits, I felt that, actually. I felt that. I had not considered that. And you know what? I offer you a sincere apology. I take back nothing I've ever said, but I apologize for the hurt that I may have inadvertently caused. Good night, Dolly. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Good night, Phoenix.
Marlon says, is it pizza or pizza? Or pizza? It's a good question. I think it's the last one.
Yeah, I'd be more inclined to say the last one as well.
Yep.
I think we found something we finally agree on.
I think so. I think so. Vorin says, I do want to see that. Cat and Jack, would you do it? Cat might have gone to bed. This is the second time in 2 live streams that I have sung in order to impress her, and she wasn't here. Straining my vocal cords and everything. Let's see. Maybe not watching her eat it, but a picture and a written review. That would work. If anyone wanted to participate in the mushy pea and the, what do we call it? Project Mushy Pea? Project Mushy Pizza.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. If you can think of something better, let me know.
No, I like the alliteration in that.
I do too. Kat says she is here, laughing in the background, not laughing at you singing though. I was straining for some of those notes. I don't know if you could tell. The peas forgive you. I've been forgiven by the peas. Thank you, Skips. William says, oh, heck yeah, Adam, we should do the tag. Hey, William, I know how much you love pizza. Are you in? Cat says, oh, cleaning? So, you decided to clean after all. Hey, you know what we could do?
Yep.
no one needs to be limited. This could be one live stream. Bring your pizza. For you, it's going to be the mushy. Bring your pizza challenge. For you, it's mushy peas. For someone else, it might be name something, Big Al.
Baked beans.
Oh, yuck! But I could see Jason. I could see. I would eat a mushy pea pizza before I ate a baked bean pizza.
Right. Okay. Right now, Jace, how much money you got? If you got £50, we need to pay £50. I mean, I say we. I'm basically telling Jace, but £50, and we get Yogi eating mushy peas on a pizza.
Didn't say I was going to do it. I said I would rather.
Oh, you don't have to say you're going to do it. I'll tell you you're going to do it if Jace pays £50.
Um, I would have lentils on pizza.
Doesn't count. You
Lentils
said
are
mushy peas. You said
lentils
mushy
are
peas over baked beans. So mushy peas on a pizza you have to do.
but lentils are a legume. Ours are peas. Ours are beans. So it's basically the same, right?
Not at all.
Man,
Not in my eyes.
why do mushy
Mushy
peas have
peas?
to look so gross though?
I mean, you're your fault for saying it. You should have just said yes to the beans, left it at that, and acted like you liked them. But
Well,
instead, you had to put your foot in it and say, "Oh no, I'd eat mushy peas on a pizza over baked beans." So now you've gone and dropped yourself in it.
no, you're dropping me in it.
No, I'm not the one that said that you liked mushy peas over baked beans. You said that, so it's your fault.
I I think by the way, I think poor man is getting a different interpretation of what Jace is saying. Jace says 50, yeah, and poor man says now you're a wild man, Jace. I think that Dan is thinking they're gonna do another 50 burpees right now. And man, I can't do mushy peas, and I can't do baked beans. They are equally unappealing to me.
Aren't we still waiting for you to do a teaspoon of mushy peas though? I'm sure that was one thing that you said you would do.
I thought I said I would eat one unmushed pea.
Hmm.
Maddie will have a mushy pea and olive omelet. That's saying something.
Olives are gross. I'd
He's gonna.
rather. That's a difficult one for me. Okay, you've just said that you would rather eat mushy peas on a pizza over baked beans. However, now that's put me in a predicament with I don't like mushrooms, but I also don't like olives. And for me, out of those two, mushrooms and olives, I'm not sure which one I'd rather eat.
All right, so that means you got to have olives on your pizza with the mushy peas because
Well, that's unfair.
you dropped yourself right into it.
But if you're not gonna even eat one teaspoon of mushy peas, you can't tell others what to eat because I mean you're not really, you're demanding and not doing. This is a very one-sided relationship. I feel like I'm putting everything into it and I'm not getting any love back here, Rudy.
I don't have a ready reply to this. I would reply. I have to answer a comment real quick. I'm being saved because Adam has a very important question for you. Before I ask this, Maddie's having an olive challenge on his channel. Maddie, tell us about the challenge. Just as 500 or 1,000, Yogi. I would never do. I might one day eat a single unmushed pea. Actually, I won't even eat it. I would take it like a pill. I'd put it in my mouth and swallow water. But here's the thing. This is what I wanted to read. And I want to read William's comment too. So I want to get to that. Adam had said, though, what would you be using the mushy peas as a sauce kind or like pesto or something? How are you going to do that?
I'm just gonna heat them up and tip them on the pizza and spread it out a little bit, and then like an even spread across the whole thing, and then just eat it.
That's what I was thinking. If you're going to have a mushy pea pizza, it has to be a mushy pea pizza. It can't be pizza with mushy pea dipped. It
Oh
can't
no,
be
I
like
was definitely no, certainly I was definitely going to put the mushy peas on the pizza. Maybe
Okay.
heat them up in a bowl because obviously mushy peas come in a tin. Heat them up in a bowl, and then tip them on the pizza and use a spoon or a fork or or a knife or anything really, and just spread them across kind of evenly across the pizza before cutting it.
Right. Now, William has an excellent point. Says depends on how you prepare the baked beans. You can do something like refried, etc., as a base, and do a tofu taco scramble with it. Could be good if you par bake the pizza to stay crispy. Now you're talking, William. You've actually presented a way in which I might do refried beans on a pizza if it was prepared that way. See, all it takes is a brilliant cook, a brilliant mind like William Hart. Change everything entirely. Now, Big Al, if you had presented it that way, we would have an entirely different conversation right now.
I am no kind of chef. I'll be completely honest.
Adam says if you cook the magic mushroom, I don't think they're strong. They're not as strong, definitely. I do like mushrooms.
No, I'm really sorry. I don't like mushrooms. I
Would
think
you
out
eat
of
it?
mushrooms, I've thought about it, and I think out of olives and mushrooms, I'm more likely to eat an olive because for me, mushrooms is I don't like the taste and I don't like the texture. Whereas olives, I can get away with the texture. It's the taste that I don't like. So I suppose I could eat one and I'd be okay with it. But mushrooms, I just can't do. I don't like the flavor and I don't like the texture. So the whole thing for mushrooms for me is no. Like
All
I
right,
don't think I could do that.
I have a question for you. Let me read Kat's statement real quick. One might say offered you a change in perspective. Uh, Very much so, Kat. This is why Cat and Jack is my teacher. Um, so if I ate a mushy pea and I received 50 pounds from Jace, and if I took that said 50 pounds and offered it to you to eat a mushroom, what would happen?
Firstly, I don't want to take money from you, Yogi, because it's just I haven't done anything to earn it. I'm a firm believer in earning the things that I'm given, and I haven't earned that money. You earned it from Jay for eating the mushy peas.
But then
I
you would earn it by eating a mushroom.
I I don't know what to say really. No, I can't take that money from you, Yogi. I don't know. Maybe if you forced me to take money from you from a percentage of that, I take a very small percentage, and I think I would be willing to eat a mushroom based on that fact.
Now we're getting somewhere. However, you're completely off the hook because I will never eat a mushy pea. Um, so we're both off the hook. I do want
Perfectly
to say
fine
no
by
to.
me.
I do want to say no to slimy mushrooms. To William. William says was talking about if you don't cook them, if you let them sit for a while, they will turn slimy, and then nobody wants to eat a slimy mushroom.
You see, I've told you before, Yogi. I'm the type of person who will try everything before saying I don't like it. So I've tried. I think the first type of mushroom I tried was maybe a fried mushroom, I think, and I didn't like it. But I have since tried garlic mushrooms, didn't like them, and I've tried stuffed mushrooms, and I didn't like them. So that's what I mean. I won't just try one type of mushroom. I'll try it done several ways, and it turns out I still don't like them. So I've come to the conclusion that obviously I just don't like mushrooms.
It's a fair conclusion.
Whereas
Now,
tomatoes, I don't like fresh tomatoes, but I do like tinned tomatoes and tomato ketchup. Now, tomato ketchup to me isn't the same because it's just completely different anyway. But I don't like fresh tomatoes, but I will eat tinned tomatoes.
Hey, let me ask you an honest question, Big Al.
Go ahead.
Are you just saying that so you can say tomatoes so you can impress Kat?
It didn't even cross my mind.
I think because you said tomatoes, like I was counting. I think you said it 56 times in one sentence.
I don't
The-
think it was 56 times.
It was 56
I'm sure
times.
I
Like,
only said. I'm sure I said tomato maybe 6
see,
times.
and you said it again. So that makes 58 times. It was 58. It was 57. I counted. I had to take off my shoes so I can use my toes. I had to borrow my cat's toes. I counted 57 times. The only reason you
Wow.
would say tomato 57 times, you were trying to impress Cat, weren't you?
That's a lot of tomatoes. But no, I didn't say tomato to impress Cat. Didn't cross my mind. I'm not trying to impress Cat with tomato to try and get in a good books because she said I offended her with not liking olives at all. I just said tomato because we were talking about tomatoes.
You can't tell me that those last three tomatoes weren't thrown in, because you could have one tomato would have sufficed. You threw a couple of extra tomatoes in there. Hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Cat says even chickens won't eat a slimy mushroom. That's a fair point. I have eaten a slimy mushroom before. It's amazing I'll eat a slimy mushroom, not like purposely. I don't go out of my way to eat slimy mushrooms, but will not eat a mushy pea. I wonder why that is. I long ago stopped trying to figure out my. There's a particular word. I can't. It starts with a P. William will know. William, what's the word I'm looking for? That little quirks that we have. I long ago decided, you know what? I have some little quirks. I'm okay with my little quirks. I don't need to overcome them. If I was starving and all I had was a tin of mushy peas, um, my first thought would be, why did someone put a tin of mushy peas into my pantry? It's ridiculous. And then if I was hungry enough, I would uh, perturbed. Nope. Uh, pick a something. PICC. Nope, not peculiarities. But but thank you for offering that, Cat. Um, there's a specific word. Mannerisms. That's close. Let me Google. Big Al, help me out here.
I'm thinking. I'm not sure though.
You just want to say tomatoes again, don't you?
I'm not great with words. No, I'm staying well away from tomatoes.
Let's see. I'm looking up synonyms for. You could say idiosyncrasies. That's kind of close, but it's not the one that I was looking for. Um,
Just quickly, Yogi. Adam asked me if he was drowning, would I eat a mushroom to save his life? Yeah. If I had to eat most things to save someone's life, I would do it because I saving people is a good thing. So any
is.
good deed, I'm willing to do most things to save someone's life and stuff like that. So yeah, I would eat a mushroom if it meant someone's life would be saved.
But let me ask you this: would you hesitate? Would you stop at the shoreline and think, how much do I really like this guy? Would you
I
go
mean,
to the shoreline and think, I don't really know him that well? Or would
I
you
mean, yeah, that would definitely be at the back of my mind. But ultimately, I think I'd do it. There's no
Big
there's
Al?
no there's no hesitation in the way of waiting an hour and then going, yeah, you know what, I'll do it. It's more of a it would take me about 30 seconds to come to my
Right,
conclusion. That's how
right.
confident I am.
Okay, I can understand that. Big Al, I appreciate your total upfrontness and honesty in answering that question. Jace says, just take the plug out. It's easier. Jace says weird for me. I can go with weird. I fully accepted my own weirdness um, a long time ago. As a matter of fact, I I wear it up front. No apologies. I'm not above apologizing for a lot of things, and I do offer the sincere apologies now that I've had that empathetic moment of having my heart broken by a pancake comment of how it must have felt for you and Skits and Jace and my lack of respect for mushy peas. So I will no longer disparage you for your mushy pea affection, but that doesn't mean I will ever eat a mushy pea.
Well, Kat said she no longer likes me, and I offended her when I said I didn't like olives. So I've got to get myself. I've got to redeem myself,
I can't imagine Kat ever saying such a thing.
which is why I don't know. I'm thinking of instead of getting a flower basket for my bike, I might get a tomato basket.
You had to fit it in one more time, didn't you, Big Al?
I did. I did. It's a shame. It's a shame when Kat goes live, she doesn't have the option to join her because I would definitely join her live stream and confess my undying love of tomatoes to her.
Um, it is a shame, Big Al. You're right. It is a shame that there's not that. You would think YouTube would have had that option. Um, maybe in the future. William says, uh, pro, help me say this word, Big Al. Look at William's comment. Prolixivity. Prolixivity. That is actually the word that I was looking for. Doesn't mean I can pronounce it. Actually,
I
no.
I I would say proclivity.
Proclivity.
Proclivity?
Proclivity. Yes. And
I can't
actually,
say the
William,
second one.
the second one I think was the word that I was looking for. I cannot say it either.
Predilection? Predilection?
Yes.
Something like
Now
that.
you're.
I
Yep.
can't pronounce it.
Adam says, I knew Big Al was a good Samaritan.
I can be. I'm not always the best kind of person to be around, but most of the time I'm I'm a nice guy.
I believe so. Um, I believe it's your heart. And that even if you do something that you think um, could have been better, that I think you come back, you try again. I don't think, I think I think you are a good person. And I think you sincerely want to be a good person. And the good news, the two aren't mutually exclusive. Wanting to be a good person makes you a good person. Doesn't mean you don't make doesn't mean you don't make mistakes, because we all do. And a mistake is just that. It's a mistake. Doesn't mean that it can't be course corrected.
That's indeed true. That is. I
Kevin,
agree as well. I genuinely do make 110% effort to be great all the time, to be nice to everybody. There are times where that doesn't happen. I'm only human. I do have moments where I'll sometimes say what's on my mind without thinking, and sometimes it can be not the nicest of things to say. And but like I said, I am only human. We all say things
great.
that we sometimes don't mean, and we all have moments where we don't think about our actions or what we're saying and how harmful they can be. And like I say, sometimes that side of me just slips out. I'll get a
We've
little
all
bit annoyed at something. I'll be frustrated. Something will happen, and I'll make a small error in judgment and say something I don't mean or do something that's harmful to myself or others. But ultimately, 90, I'd say 95% of the time, I try my best to be the best person I can be.
and that's all it comes down to is trying. Trying is the thing. As we say with toy pups all the time, the thing is the thing. Um, wanting to be a good person makes you a good person because you try, you put in the effort to be a good person. Wanting to forgive means you want to forgive. It's too often we think, I'm not a kind person because I did this, instead of realizing that we want to be kind. That's a huge, huge thing. By the way, William says predilection is how he would pronounce it.
I think that's how I said it, but I weren't sure whether it was predilection or whether the I was, like over pronounced, like predilection.
Right. And Kat
But
says,
predilection is how I said it the first time. I think that's how it would, it came across to
Right.
me straight away.
I think I would have emphasized instead of the pred, it would have been a predilection. Predilection is how it was in my head. By the way, Kat says, y'all are out of control. There's no way I would share my live stream.
Not even if it meant you heard me say tomato repeatedly, Kat. That would make your year.
It's a shame that you don't want to look into the camera, Big Al, because I could just see you peering into the camera and saying, "Cat, tomato."
Little glint in my eye with
A
my
little glint in
cowboy
your eye.
hat on, head tilted slightly forward, looking what's the word, like romantically? I can't remember. There's another word for it, but looking longingly into the camera. With and just saying tomato and making Cat's heart melt.
I think you could do it. I think you could do it. You know what? That description alone, my heart started to melt. It literally skipped a beat.
That's the word, William. Seductively.
People do it with cornbread. I like cornbread, which isn't far off. Just adapt the cooking method a bit. Oh, Marlon said, "Hey everyone, question: is it wrong? It was honest to my ex fiance, just to the specific things she asked about, even if that honesty might lead her to end her life. I really can't tell right now. I don't think it's a matter of right or wrong. MK. However, if you are having questions about anything that you've said that you think might influence, you can always reach out. It's always better to be safe. It's always better to be kind. Even over honesty, kindness matters. My own thoughts. Kindness is, in my opinion, kindness trumps. Kindness is the highest form of honesty. So, yeah, MK, I don't think it's a matter of right or wrong, but what is your heart telling you to do right now? Hey, Gilbert. Hey, are you connected with Gilbert, Big Al?
I am, yes. In fact, Gilbert doesn't get called Gilbert by me. Gilbert gets called Giblet.
Giblet.
It was partially my dyslexia that started that. When I was I first, I'll say met, because I don't know the correct term when you connect with someone on YouTube. But when I first met Gilbert, it was in Mark and Joe's stream, and my dyslexia read it as Giblet. So I call him it now all the time, just because people found it funny, including myself. I found it quite funny that I'd got it like slightly wrong. So yeah, Gilbert isn't Gilbert to me.
An amazing channel, an amazing person.
Oh yeah, indeed.
Just I was going to type a message to Marlon, but let me say it real quick. Spend some quiet time, Marlon. Get in touch with your heart and see what it tells you. No hurry. Let's see. Al is quite all right, of course, says Gilbert.
Well, I don't want to toot my own trumpet, but I am quite a gentleman.
Hey.
was it you, Yogi, that called me a proper Englishman, a proper
It is.
English gentleman, something like that?
I think that would be an awesome name for your channel. Big Al, the proper English gentleman.
I'm not changing it again. I'll keep it as what it is for now. For now, it might change in the future, but for now, I'm keeping it like that. For I think actually as well, you have to wait 14 days before you can change it again.
It might be even longer, I think.
I know when I first did it, I made a spelling mistake, so I had to change it again. And I think you can only change it twice in a 14-day period.
Ah.
But like you said, it could be longer. I don't know. I can't remember. I changed it and obviously made sure I spelt everything correctly, so I didn't have to do it again. But I'm sure the first time, like I say, it was the very first time. So I'm sure maybe for the first time, yeah, it just said you can't change it more than twice in a 14-day period.
Right. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Gilbert is under a maple tree with water misters on. That sounds relaxing.
It does.
All right,
Does
guys.
that sounds quite relaxing. I and I've been out on my bike a bit quite recently as well, Yogi. I'm trying to find a good so if anyone can recommend quite cheap. I'm not like I don't mean really cheap. I'm not, poor as such. But
Right.
if anyone can recommend any inexpensive bike helmets, no, not bike helmets, bike helmet cameras, I'd be appreciated because I can't film on my phone when I'm on my bike. The holder that I have isn't the best. I can't really control my phone with it on my bike, so there isn't a lot of footage that I can get at the minute. I did upload some stats yesterday, I think it was, of my bike ride. I reached a speed of just over 22 miles per hour, which was quite good considering I have my backpack that weighs, I think it weighs 25 kilograms or close to. When I weighed it with everything in, it was 24 kilograms, and I've since added a few things to it. Not like on purpose. I don't put weight in it, but all of the stuff I need for work weighs quite a bit. And then obviously
Right.
I've got my water bottle and stuff, which I don't have a holder on my bike. So yeah. Anyway, so just over 22 miles per hour, with a 25 kilogram bag on, and not going downhill. I purposely avoided any of the hilly areas because I wanted to see how fast I actually could go. And yeah, just over 22 miles per hour was not bad, really,
Not bad at all. Nice.
on flat ground with a 25 kilograms on my back. I'd say that's
Right.
quite good going.
I would say as well, Big Al. Impressive. Actually, I would say more than quite. I would say impressive.
The only thing I did was I scribbled out I put my details in, and on the pictures I scribbled out some personal information, but I scribbled out my weight because I work in like meters, kilograms, all of that kind of stuff, those kind of measurements. And on the app that I've got, you can't change specific things. And when I changed it, it put it in pounds, and I put my weight in pounds, but I put it in kgs because I didn't read it properly. So on the picture, I scribbled out because it makes me look heavier than I am.
A little bit of
Or
vanity
lighter.
showing there, Big Al.
I can't remember which one it was. It either made me look lighter or heavier. I can't remember, but I scribbled out my weight anyway because I was like, well, it's wrong.
Right. Interesting. How does this tie in with you getting a basket for your bike? Is what I want to know.
Sorry, Yogi, what's up?
How does this tie in with you getting a basket for your bike? I'm looking for a tie-in.
Well, that's gonna have to wait. I'm after a camera first for multiple reasons. I was nearly knocked off my bike a short while ago. So a camera would come in very handy for incidents like that.
But let me ask you a question. If you ride your bike to go buy a camera and you get the camera, wouldn't it be handy to have a basket to put that camera in on your way back to your house?
Well, no, because I take my backpack everywhere with me.
Ah, okay. You got an answer for everything, Big Al. You know that?
I do have an answer for most things because I don't know. It's a
Let me say
it's a good
this.
thing. I
You
don't
you
really know how I have how I have answers for most things.
you have a good answer for most things. Pretty much. I appreciate that about you. That you give me pause for thought with your good answers. I think I have a foolproof flower basket argument to make. And very gently, very easily, you present your counter argument, your checkmate argument, and I'm at a loss. I can't argue any further.
I mean, if I didn't work and I didn't have nut allergies, then I wouldn't have to take my bag with me, and I wouldn't have had an answer so quickly. But the fact that I'm allergic to nuts, which means I have to take EpiPens and other medication with me, means that I invested in a backpack plus my work stuff. I have to carry folders around and stuff like that, and I can't have them on my handlebars. It just wouldn't look right. So I have them in my backpack. So yeah, like I say, without that kind of stuff and without a nut allergy, I wouldn't have an answer for you. I would have been like, yeah, okay, that's a fair point. But the fact that I do take my bag with me, I had an answer already. I can't help that really.
Now, here's the thing: you've never actually bought flowers when you were on your bike, have you?
No, I did buy flowers for somebody yesterday, but I weren't on my bike because the shop was like a 5-minute walk away.
Is that what you're telling yourself? That because it was only 5 minutes, or deep in your heart, did you know that you couldn't take your bike because you didn't have a flower basket? Don't
No, I
don't be s-
genuinely,
don't be so quick to
genuinely.
answer.
Okay.
Just consider it.
So I'll pretend I'm thinking for a minute then. Hmm. Now let me see. Why didn't I go on my bike?
So,
Could have been because I didn't have a flower basket and I knew I was getting flowers.
hey, Big Al, as you're
Or
thinking, are you rubbing your
yep,
chin and looking up in space?
I'm looking at my screen, but I'm rubbing my chin. I'm being very stereotypical right now with the whole rubbing the chin
Oh,
thing. It's
yeah,
the first thing
okay.
I did, and then you ask.
Big Al. I'm doing my Big Al impersonation, by the way. So, what is it? Have we come to an answer?
So my conclusion, I think I knew what I was getting, flowers, and I know the shop is about 5 minutes away. So I walked knowing that that's all I needed.
But do you think you might have thought differently had you a flower basket and you thought, I bought this for just such an occasion?
Then I may have used it, yeah. But I've
That was
just thought of something very quickly as well. I'm actually not even sure the shop had anywhere for me to chain a bike up. I don't recall seeing like a bike park or anything. So I'm gonna next time I go to the shop, I'm actually going to look to make sure they have somewhere for me to lock my bike up because I'm not even sure they did have anywhere. Out of all the things I saw, they had a trolley park or a shopping park, as you would call it, but they had a trolley park, and I don't recall seeing any other places. Sometimes I have locked my bike up to the trolley park. I don't always do it because I got into trouble once by a security guard, which was quite funny, but it wasn't funny. But yeah, no, I'm gonna look next time I go to that shop, see if there's anywhere for me to lock my bike up. Because you genuinely got me thinking now. When I just realised, I was like, hold on, I didn't even see anything.
then my job is done, Big Al. I feel like I've done a great service for you. That regardless of where we stand on pancakes, mushy peas, mushrooms, olives, um, what else have we covered? Regardless of all that, we have
I want to
reached.
quickly say to William, because yeah, just I want to quickly say to William, I have been reading your comments. Obviously, I've been talking to Yogi, as you've heard, but I have been reading your comments, William, and I appreciate the suggestions, the recommendations you've given. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you for that, Big Al. Sniper lets us know that that's called a Jimmy Hill. Itchy chin, inquisitive posture.
Oh,
When you do that.
learn something new.
We do. Are you doing it right now, Big Al?
It made me do it. Seeing you do it and then reading the comment made me, yeah, automatically my hand wandered to my face.
That's what I do whenever I think I need to look intelligent. That's an excellent point, Big Al. And meanwhile, as I'm doing this and I'm nodding my head, I'm really thinking about pancakes the entire time.
Pancakes are nice with ice cream. I'm just not a big pancake fan. I don't eat pancakes on Pancake Day. I eat whatever I want really, but pancakes do go well with ice cream. And someone mentioned crepes, and crepes to me are different to pancakes. Pancakes are really thin and yeah.
Well,
But crepes are nice.
I would say crepes are just thin pancakes. Me, I like big, thick, fluffy pancakes. So, all right. With that, Big Al, I'm going to wrap up the conversation. I'm late for bed. I'm very late.
What
for
time
bed.
is it there, Yogi?
It's just about 7:30.
Wow.
I get to bed early because I'm up early.
No, that makes sense. I forget how far behind you are. 5 hours?
About 5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
Is that late for you or just about right?
On the weekend, I don't mind it. I don't usually go to bed this late in the week if I can help it because I'm up early.
Right.
I'm usually up for like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and a lie-in for me is actually about 8:30. If I'm up at like 8:30, that's a lie-in to me. That's considered a lie-in. Whereas I know a lot of my mates and stuff, a lie-in to them is getting up at like 10 o'clock. And it's like, I wish I could get up that late. But like I said, the weekend's different. This morning, I think it was like 9:30 when I woke up. And obviously, like I've just said, it's midnight. In the
Right.
week, I'd try and avoid this. I've been up at this time in the week before. Obviously, as you know, I've been in your live stream.
Yeah.
Sometimes. To say that I don't go to bed late ever, because I do, but I try to avoid it because I'm up early, like yourself. I'm not up as early as you are, but you know, for being up and doing stuff, I do like to go to bed around 10 o'clock.
I will be up probably about 2:15 tomorrow morning. I got some things I need to do before bed, so I would probably get somewhere between 4 and 5 hours worth of sleep. And that's been about what I've been getting for probably about a year or so. Sometimes I'm able to sneak into bed a little bit early, and I might get 6 hours of sleep. That's a rarity. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to see how quick I can get into bed.
Fair enough. As I just said, sorry, very quickly.
Yeah, that's okay.
I aim to be in bed by about 10. I'm not going to be asleep by 10 or like that, even soon, because you don't go live in the evening my time until 25 minutes past 10. So it's impossible. Like, I mean, if I want to be in your, not even come up like this, but even if I want to be in the chat for 5 minutes, I'd have to be, at least awake at 25 minutes past 10.
Right.
So, but I like to aim to be asleep. If I'm not in your live and all that kind of stuff, if I'm just in the chat, for example, I like to be asleep by 11 in the week. Like I said, weekend doesn't matter because tomorrow's Sunday, so I'll go to bed earlier and get back into my pattern. But no, for the week, yeah, I usually aim to be asleep by around 11:15, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock's a decent time. They
Much
say,
later than that, and I obviously like to stay in bed a bit later, and it's not great because then it throws my sleep pattern off.
for health reasons, it's always better to get into bed before midnight. It keeps your circadian rhythm a little more in track.
Okay, well that's something you'll have to explain to me another time
All right. Next
because I
conversation.
don't know what that is. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Yogi. It's
Okay.
been pleasant.
Big Al, thank you. It's always fun.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me up, as always. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy birthday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Happy New Year, my friend. See ya. All
Yeah,
right,
love you,
guys. Slip that in right at the end. Guys, we're gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna see everyone tomorrow, same time, doing the same stuff. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Laughed a lot this live stream. Marlon, prayers, my friend. Sending you prayers. I will see everyone tomorrow morning. Love you guys.